Taurus, hello and welcome to Gena Moon. This is your new timeline reading for this week. This video is also sponsored by Psychic Source, and I'll tell you all about their amazing offer at the end of the reading. If you would like to watch the link to the extended, you can find the link to the extended down in the description box below. You can also find it in the first comment that I've pinned down below as well. And in the extended is where we dive deeper into this entire reading, the entire situation. We go into the other person's energies, we clarify each position, and that's where all the details come through. If you would like to book a personal reading, you can also find the link to my personal readings down in the description box below as well, right next to the extended. All right, let's see. Without further ado, let's jump right in. Let's see what the celestial energies have here for you. It's a new timeline for a lot of you, a new beginning. And let's see what kind of pathway forward is opening up. Let's see. You are starting with the dominant energy of the drum roll. Okay, very nice. If you see the number 3, 303, 333, the number 3, there's something here about communication. Miscommunication, communicating, in a way that you are heard, but also listening, because communication is a two-way thing. It's not just about talking and communicating, it's also about listening to what the other has to say, or you being listened to as well, right? We will see. This is also all about creativity, opening up to creativity, doing things differently, stepping out of your comfort zone, something here that you've been doing that hasn't been working. Think outside the box, right? Again, this can be related to love, career, family, finances, friends, your personal life, health, whatever else this is. It is a general reading, so take the reading how it resonates for you. And you can reverse the roles if you feel that they fit better that way. I have a lot of cross watchers as well, so again, but I will still read the energies how I see them fit. You have here none other than solar plexus chakra. So there's something here about your solar plexus chakra needing to be balanced. This is also about your solar plexus chakra being very necessary right now to be grounded, balanced, and anchored. This is all about confidence. There's something here that's happening in your life or about to happen that will require your confidence, your belief in yourself. But remember, this can go one way or the other. If there is way too much confidence, wanting to control the outcome, then it turns into, an ego battle. It goes into not just confidence, but arrogance. So you've got to really, kind of find the in-between. And then on the other side, if you don't have enough confidence, it could lead to self-esteem issues, low self-esteem that might make you vulnerable to certain things, right? So there's a necessary balance here with regards to confidence. Let's go and see how this is all playing a role. The color yellow as well. How does that resonate for you? Let's go and tune into these energies. And as I shuffle the cards, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell. Comment down below letting me know how these readings all resonate for you. And also, you guys have been telling me that you guys have not been receiving my notifications. Make sure that the little bell turns black. You can double click it until it turns black, and make sure that your little check mark is on all, okay? And of course, if you do enjoy these readings, make sure that you give the video a thumbs up, like the video, because when you give the video a thumbs up, ooh, preliminary, okay, we'll keep that. Yes, as I was saying, the video, if you give the video a thumbs up, you really help support me and you help support the channel. Okay, all right, let's see. We will take a look at that preliminary message. Okay, wow. You could be dealing with, let's see, Aries energies coming through the reading, Taurus. I see also the energy of Libra, Pisces, Scorpio, Capricorn. Okay, many signs coming through. Libra, I already mentioned. Now let's start off with your preliminary. For some of you, there is something here from the past. Either a person, an idea, a place, a thing, whatever it is, something here in energy from the past. Of course, for most of you guys, it will be love, right? Because that's just what comes up the most. But whether it's love or anything other than love, it's something here from the past, right? I see that you're kind of, contemplating on something that perhaps you connected with, a person that you connected with in the past, or an idea that you had in the past that's now kind of coming back around. Of course, if this is an actual person, there's this energy of reminiscing about the good old days, reminiscing about the past, right? Somebody here who you miss, and for others, this can actually be an energy that is coming towards you, a person from the past who misses you, right? They are thinking about you and the good old days, and if maybe are you still single? What are you up to now, right? So let's go ahead and take a look. It's a preliminary, but I see here that right now, okay, very nice. You are showing up wanting not only clarity with regards to a situation, but you want balance, you want harmony, and more than anything else, you want an equal give and take, reciprocity. I feel that there is something here that you're kind of sensing it's a little bit out of balance. It's a little bit kind of like, okay, one person is giving way too much to the situation than the other, right? It could be you. It could be you coming in, wanting some kind of balance. For some of you, we're going to see, because I see that you guys have a karmic attachment. Someone here who is a karmic person coming into your life. This could be a person from the past. And for some of you, it could be a brand new person. And I'm telling you this because of what I'm seeing already here in the near future. For a lot of you, there's a person that is a brand new connection, a brand new energy, whether you just met them or will be meeting them. And I see that you're going to have to make a decision between a past person and a brand new situation. And if it is a brand new situation for you, this has to do with something karmic, right? There's something karmic here playing a role in a situation. For some, the karmic can potentially be the person from the past. So decisions, we will see. We will see how this plays itself out. But I see that right now, it's a little challenging for you to close out a cycle, not just any cycle, but this is actually a karmic cycle. This could be a karmic cycle in a love situation, in a career, right? In a relationship, maybe with an idea, with a project, whatever this is. But I see that this outside energy, they're coming through as not really, thinking about how they're affecting you. It's kind of like a little bit selfish, like self-focused. And it's interesting because even though they are this way, they're still a lack mentality. Like they're still not fulfilled. Like it's never enough. It's never enough, And I'm sensing that this is part of the reason also why a part of you feels like this is incomplete. There's like an incomplete cycle here. You might be feeling also unfulfilled until you get clarity on something, until the scales balance themselves out. We will see when we clarify. If we don't get to all the clarifications here, we will definitely look into the extended. But I see that in the recent past, there was some kind of, again, it's kind of like, for some of you, karmic cycles are situations and or people or jobs, environments that kind of, you go back to like expecting a different result. And so I see here that for you, there was a little bit of that going on, whether it was a relationship, love, career, anything else, right? You're going back to something. I see that there were a lot of lessons that, you learned throughout whatever this was. But I see here that there's also the judgment call, right? It's almost as if someone here in the recent past was very judgmental. Either you kind of like felt like this was not really it for you. Not because it's almost as if I'm sensing here like something or someone charmed you to go into something, right, in the recent past, but you were still not like fulfilled, right? It's kind of like you felt like this didn't amount to much, right? It didn't really move up the scale. It didn't really make progress in the way that you envisioned it. And what's interesting is that this outside energy, they're actually, they were feeling pretty similarly. They were feeling like they were putting in work and effort and nothing was happening. I see that for some of you, someone here felt very judged over the other. Whether you were kind of, telling them, well, this is what I don't like, this is what I need, etc., or this is them, right? But there was a sense here of like you wanting a little bit more out of the situation and them feeling like they're judged, like they're being judged by you. And them kind of, having their own narrative as to, well, I have been trying, I have been doing, right? But you were kind of like, not really sure. I feel like for some of you guys, this was a reconnection or some kind of a, you gave it a second go or a third go or a fourth go, right? But it was like a repetitive type of thing, cycle. Now, moving into right now, I see that right now you're undecided, right? You're having to make a decision and you're a little bit kind of like dancing around the issue. Like you're not sure whether to do this, to fully go into this, to fully commit, or whether, this is something here that you actually want to continue. Again, this could be a relationship, money, career, whatever this is. You're juggling something here. I see that for a lot of you, you are there's a lot going on in your life, right? There's like responsibilities at work, there's family situations, there's new projects, there's like, personal matters. There's just a lot going on for you right now. It's like you're not really focused at this particular moment. And I'm seeing that this outside energy, they're coming through as wanting something to grow, wanting something to stabilize and materialize itself. But I'm seeing that you're a little bit kind of like, not sure. Of course, remember, energies can be in the reverse. You take the reading how it resonates. But let's move into the near future, because in the near future, you're not looking too good. It seems that, in the near future, there's a heartbreak. There's some kind of breakup, heartbreak, a painful cycle that comes to an end. Okay. And for some of you, this has to do with like the dreams and the visions, just kind of being shattered. Because sometimes the pain doesn't come from what they did or what was done or what happened. It comes from you had this vision of what you wanted the future to look like, and then all of a sudden, because of something went wrong, that vision was shattered. And I see that this outside energy, they're coming through as wanting to take a leap of faith towards something, right? It's like, let's go into something without really thinking. I feel like this outside energy, they're a little bit kind of immature, a little bit foolish, like not really thinking things through. Now we're going to start clarifying, because what I'm sensing here is that you and another outside energy here, it's almost as if you are standing in a little bit of a karmic hinge, right? Because there's like a karmic vibe to this for sure, right? And it's like you guys have been replaying this same scenario over and over again. And I'm sensing here that they're becoming a little bit like a mirror to you, like they're mirroring you in some kind of way. But I feel like they are mirroring your hesitation, because remember, you're not sure about something. They are mirroring your hesitation. And I'm sensing here that there's a fear within you that you're not really calling out, or you're not really kind of like acknowledging, okay? And I'm sensing that fear, just kind of looking at these right now, I feel like it's coming from your own shadow, okay? Because it's something here that you feel like someone convinced you of, but it's like you feel like there's like a boundary and you're not sure whether to respect that boundary, which is what I see you have been doing, or there's a part of you that wants to cross it, right? And it's like, okay, well, what should you do? Should you cross the boundary? Should you continue respecting the boundary but feel uncomfortable, feel like this is an unfair situation? Let's see. Let's tune in. Tell me more about your energy. Let's see. Yeah, so right now it's very difficult for you to speak up and to have clarity, right? I feel like it comes with, again, because you don't have the clarity about what to do about the situation, it's kind of like you're holding yourself back from speaking up, from taking action. And I'm sensing here that, yeah, it's kind of like you're kind of taking a step back, but the more that you avoid the topic, the conversation, the more that you go into overthinking. It's like, even if you're trying to give it a rest or give it a break, I see that you're still overthinking the situation, because there's something within you that is telling you you should say something about it, you should do something about it. Maybe you can negotiate something better, right? For some of you, this has to do with an offer. Somebody here offering you something, or whether you are willing to commit to something, whether you are willing to offer something, right? But it's something big. It's not something small. And I can see the reason why, it's a little concerning to you. And I feel that this outside energy does have a plan, right? There's something here where it's kind of like, it's something here that you're not expecting. And for some of you, you already know that, because that's why the imbalance is happening, right? It's kind of like you went into something without really acknowledging it fully. And now it's kind of like not exactly what you felt it would be. And even though it kind of feels heavy on your side a little bit, right? That's why you're kind of like wanting to give it a break. You're wanting to kind of like take a break. I feel that this definitely has to do with, should you slow it down, right? Or should you speed it up and say what needs to be said? That's kind of like the main thing here, because I'm feeling that it's kind of like you refusing to act right now. Yeah, see, now I'm making the connection. You refusing to say something or to act is turning this into the Three of Swords in the near future. The fact that, right now you're kind of like undecided. You're not in, you're not out. You're not sure if to say something about it. This is your future self warning you, right? Not to scare you, but to say, hey, listen, there's something there that you need to decide on, because there's still something here that this outside energy is not telling you. It's like they have like a plan here. Let me see. Let me clarify this outside energy. Yeah, because I don't see you making it's kind of like interesting, because it's like, I don't see you making a decision based on you having full clarity. It's like, if you make a decision, right here, right now, it's because of their influence, right? Because it looks pretty, because they convince you, because they pressure you, or because they charm you, or because they paint like this beautiful picture of, yeah, there's going to be growth, there's going to be this, right? But then why is it that it turns out like this for you on your side in the near future? I'm not liking that for you. And then it's kind of like a part of this outside energy shows up as foolish, right? Sure, they want a new beginning, but I cannot disregard that it is the Fool and that your heart is broken. For some, this could be a third-party situation. Not for everybody, but let's clarify. Yeah, for some of you, this has to do with money, commitment, stability. Okay, something here that is very important, that you cannot disregard as unimportant, even if you want to. Even if you want to say, well, it's okay. No, I feel like this is something crucial, very important, that can definitely change timelines in a very, very big way. Because I see that this person does have a plan. See, I told you, I knew it. I sense this person does have a plan for the future. Right now, they're undecided as well. Right now, I feel like this individual wants a quick fix solution. They're like trying to find like a quick fix solution, right? Kind of like when people, let's say, for example, excuse me, and I feel like there's something here that they haven't told you. Whenever that happens to me, it's something here that they haven't said, right? But it's interesting because they're mirroring you. It's something that you also haven't mentioned. So I feel like they do have a plan. See, like they're taking a step back to reassess a situation. And I'm telling you, this decision has a great impact on the future for long term. So this is something here that you really want to consider and not just brush off as like, okay, maybe it'll change, because I feel that subconsciously this person's soul, not their like physical human self, no, their soul is actually asking for you to do something differently than what you've been doing. Remember, you did get that earlier. Doing something differently than what you've been doing, right? Because what you've been doing hasn't been working. It's creating an imbalance, and it's keeping you stuck in something karmic that you do not feel fulfillment in. And I feel like it benefits them in some way, but it doesn't really benefit you, right? It doesn't really like, and again, you have confidence. It's like you're going to have to be confident about this situation, about this decision, because not only are you standing at a threshold of making a decision, but also them. Something here, a plan that they have not told you about. And again, the 10 of Pentacles showing up here, it has to do with something related to commitment, related to money, related to resources, related to wealth. For some of you, it can even be related to like an idea, a project that they're kind of like saying, oh yeah, we're going to do this and this is going to happen. And, you know, and it's kind of like telling you not so fast, because look what's showing up here. This is a charmer. I literally said that before they showed up. I said, this person, I feel like they're charming you. They've been charming you in some kind of way, shape, or form. And you already feel like a little bit like off. You know, the energy is kind of like a little bit off. It could be a Sagittarius, doesn't have to be, but they come up, they show up with like a lot of charm. They're very talkative, right? They're very convincing. And I'm not seeing any like evil energy yet, right? But I'm seeing a little bit of foolish energy. Like they're not really thinking things through. They're very in the moment. In the moment, they want this, they promise that. But then it's like, can they actually sustain that promise? Can they actually fulfill that promise? Because it's almost as if somebody here is acting on impulse, right? But do they have follow through? Do they have follow through? Because your future self is telling you you're going to have to really, you know, reassess this, get the information that you need. Otherwise, it's going to be a very foolish decision on your part. Now, we're going to be going into the extended to get more clarity on this, because this is already getting, you know, very intense. And a lot of you have been telling me that the readings that I've been doing have been way too long. So I'm a very deep reader. And so we're going to take this to the extended now. And let me know in the comments below if this is, you know, the right amount for you guys. Okay, so let's see. Let's go ahead and now bring this into the extended, because I feel that Spirit is definitely hinting something to you, right? It's like, it's hinting your next move is going to define this entire timeline. It changes everything, because just looking at these, right, the Three of Swords and the Fool, these are really not the best of energies. I see that there is a new opportunity coming towards you, but it's kind of like if you're still stuck in a karmic loop of some sort, you're going to need that piece of information, right? And what I'm sensing here is that the story doesn't shift here. The story shifts right now. You have a decision to make, and they're also planning something, right? So there's a missing puzzle piece here. Anyway, let's see. Let's move into the extended, but let's get a final message. Yeah, I told you. We're definitely going into the extended because you're getting triggered. It says you're angry. WTF. Why? You push my buttons on purpose. I'm upset that you have control over me. I feel that there's going to be a trigger moment, right? Whether you trigger them, they trigger you, I feel like you're going to get triggered. You know? And it's this energy where they're going to do something, you know, that pushes your buttons. And I feel that right now, like I said, it's like you either act, but which way, you know, how do you act? You know, what is it that you're going to do? What is it that they're planning? What is it they're not telling you? Because there's definitely a turning point happening here. Yeah. And this is just like the surface right now. Anyway, we're going to go into the extended now, okay? And in the extended, we're going to obviously dive deeper into this. We're going to clarify this. We're also going to dive deeper into this person's subconscious thoughts about you, their deeper feelings, emotions for you, their next moves, actions towards you, how the situation is all going to turn out and unfold for you, what will be the final result, and we will end the reading with any messages from Spirit. So if you want to check that out, the link to the extended is down in the description box below. You can also find it in the first comment that I've pinned down below as well. And if you would like to book a personal reading, you can find a link to my personal reading also right below the extended, same place. And stay tuned because I do have an amazing offer from Psychic Source. So stay tuned if you want to know all about it. I'll tell you all about it. But for now, I'll see you in the extended. I'd like to take a moment to thank today's sponsor, Psychic Source. They've been around for over 35 years, and they are one of the most trusted psychic services out there. Now, you all know that I do readings myself. And honestly, I was very curious to know. So I went ahead and I called one of their advisors just to get some clarity. And yes, it did help me confirm what I already knew within me. Because you are my loyal viewers, they're offering you 40 minutes for only $19.80. That's literally less than $20, you guys. And during the 40 minutes, you can connect with as many advisors as you want. This way you can have different perspectives from different advisors. So if you want to try this out, just click on the first link that's down in the description box below. Or you can visit trypsychicsource.com/Gena Moon. Make sure that you spell my name correctly because that is your code. Gena Moon. A big thank you to Psychic Source for sponsoring today's video. In the extended reading, I go into the other person's subconsciousness, their deeper thoughts about you, their deeper feelings for you, their next actions, moves, and more. And thank you all so much for all of your positive feedback for the extended reading. I am so glad that you guys are loving the extended reading so much. So again, if you want to check out the link to the extended, the link is down in the description box below.